Question for Jaylen?
Jaylen, you guys had a lot of excuses right there if you wanted them. Back-to-back, third game in 4 nights, you were missing some key players. What goes into kind of getting past them when they're right there for you? And you had a slow start.
Next guy up mentality. That's it. You know, a lot of guys put in a lot of work behind closed doors. So it's great for them when they get that opportunity. They come out and they ball. Peyton, Sam, you know, elevated their roles a little bit more. But O'Shea, Lamar, their contributions to just get thrown right in there and play hard and play well was big. So, you know, that was a good team win.
And even after the slow start, you guys get down early. The ball movement is there, but the shots aren't falling. You guys didn't kind of revert to any kind of ISO or anything like that. You just kept on moving. It seemed like the passing got even better, more crisp as the game went along. Is that something you guys were just kind of focused on because of the matchup, or is like what goes into that?
I think we just started playing faster. You know, we had all guards, all smalls out there, so, you know, our advantage was speed. And, you know, that's how I want to play all the time. Like, let's run, like on the made basket, on the missed basket, and that's what I've been trying to emphasize for our coaching staff and everybody all year. But, you know, today you've seen we had a lot of red zone attacks. We got the ball up the floor, and we, you know, was able to find a lot of easy baskets, but then start making those right plays. It makes the game easier that way.
They'd beaten you 4 times in a row. They got you pretty bad the day after Thanksgiving. They've been very physical, tough to score on against you guys. How does that motivate you? Does it at all? And then the fact that they're one of the teams on the rise in the Eastern Conference, like, how does that propel you?
It's respect, you know, the fact that they, you know, we'll watch film on them and they'll, you know, they'll be one way and then they'll play against us and they'll play at a whole different level. And it's been like that for, you know, the last couple seasons, and that just shows the respect that they have for us. But those guys are hungry. You know, those guys are doing exactly what they're supposed to do and trying to take it to us. And we've been on the top, and they're watching us in the playoffs, and they're trying to get there. I remember those times where, you know, a young player, when you got a big matchup, you got a big game, you want to come out and take it to them. So it just shows the level of respect.
Jaylen, you mentioned it. Sam and Peyton really stepped up tonight, especially playing within each other, like assisting each other. What's it like watching them work behind the scene, particularly with the chemistry they have between each other?
Great. You know, we just got to encourage it more. Games like today was great to see. You know, Peyton, Sam being able to, you know, find confidence and be able to, you know, just continue to excel. We're going to need that going down the line further. So, you know, games like today are big for those guys, confidence, and we got to continue to emphasize when we can to play through Sam, play through Peyton when they're playing well. You know what I mean? I think that's going to be more important to the long term than playing through me right now, you know, or playing through JT. Like, we got to instill confidence in these guys, and I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. I like D. White's confident. He's playing unreal. Peyton and Sam are confident. They're playing well. We got guys coming in, haven't played in a month, and contributing. Like, it's good energy right now.
Jaylen, how do you guys prep for nights like this when you don't have certain players? Are there certain times in practice when Joe's like, we don't have Al, we don't have KP, or is it something you take as it goes along?
Yeah, take as it goes along, just next guy up mentality. Obviously, we didn't know we was going to be without Al and KP and Luke, which is 3 of our bigs. Then Nimi got in foul trouble. So it's like we haven't practiced being all 5 guards or all 5 wings out on the floor at the same time. But, you know, we played with pace. We made the right plays, and we played with aggression on both sides of the ball, and that gave us the chance at victory.
Also, you had a couple dunks that, you know, kind of sparked the crowd, got people hyped. You know, tell us about those.
Yeah, I also had a couple steals, a couple blocks. I'm going to start having to run my own campaign for first team all defense. But, no, it's cool. I'm really locked in on both sides of the ball. But, you know, where I'm really feeling comfortable and I feel like I'm excelling, making plays at the rim, taking the ball from people. I'm doing my job and more on the defensive side, whether people want to pay attention to it or not.
Jaylen, you talked about this is the style you want to play. You guys have been making progress as the season has gone along, maybe getting a little more chemistry, feeling things out a little bit more. What's it like? Each year is a different year. Each team is a different team. This season, from training camp to now, the progression, how you guys are developing that chemistry, what's that been like, and how do you feel that's going?
I think it's going well. I think we still have a lot to learn. We still are learning as well, but we're winning as we're learning, which is the most important thing. Even in the last 10 games, it's been a different emphasis than it has been in the first 10 games. Like, we're starting to find a groove. We're starting to play a little faster than we did when we started the year. You know what I mean? And we're finding kind of that level and that balance. I think we're playing some real good ball right now. We got to keep it up.
Last two questions, Jimmy and then Gary.
Jaylen, your success at home this season, is there a mentality to protect the home court? Because you had some trouble with that in the playoffs last year.
Absolutely. We've dropped numerous of games that we shouldn't have or that we didn't want to over the years at home, And I think that coming into the season, we got a stellar group, and I think that contributes to it. But overall, the mentality is like, you can't skip any steps. Like, every shoot around, every practice, every warm up, anytime, even when we walk into the bus, we got to be aware of what the job is, what the ultimate goal is, and what our mission is. And as the leader on the team, I've been making sure that myself, I ain't skipping those steps, but I'm not allowing nobody else to skip any steps either. And I think that's why we've been able to have such a good run at home.
Jaylen, you said before that this was a big game for them to face you guys. Was this a big game for you guys?
I think this was the biggest game of the year so far, in my opinion, for us. I think, we had a bunch of guys out, and on a back-to-back versus a team that's been kicking our ass the last 4 or 5 times we played. So I think this was the biggest game to me so far,
And you got to be pleased with how you guys reacted to that moment.
Yeah. I think we came out, even though they came out swinging, like the first shot they took was a 3. Suggs hit it on the left wing, it was well defended, but he made it, and that can kind of be discouraging at times. So it was like, it's going to be a long night. But now we took those punches and kept throwing punches back. And that's what we want to, instill in our guys. We fight, we make it hard for you, and we play the game the right way.
Thank you, Jaylen.
Thank you.